The Minus World in Super Mario Bros. Has to be one of the most famous glitches out there. It was discovered very shortly after the game released, was featured in Nintendo Power, and has become somewhat of a staple in video game pop culture. All of the aspects and details of the Minus World have been covered many times. People know this stuff. But now, there is a brand new Minus World type glitch that has just been found after 39 years in the sequel. The Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2 is a very similar game to the first, but the Minus World glitch is fixed in this game. Or at least, it's supposed to be. It turns out that there's still a way to make something similar happen. What do these newly discovered levels look like? And why did it take so long to find them? I'll explain all of that and more. 39 years after the original release of the game, we've finally found the lost levels. To help make this video possible, this video is sponsored by Displate. Displates are metal posters, and a very unique way to decorate your walls. Because they're metal, they have a unique look, and they're super easy to put up. You don't have to have any tools or drill holes in your walls, just stick a magnet on the wall and you're done. On their website, they have, honestly, an absurd number of designs to choose from. No matter what your interests are, you can find something cool on here. Here's a few that Displate sent me to show you. We recently moved, so we chose some nice art pieces to decorate our new house with. You also can make your own custom Displates now, which is awesome. You could get a family photo made, or a piece of your own art, whatever you want. I made a faithful recreation of the classic live split speedrun timer, with the actual splits from one of my runs, and I think it turned out really well. If you're interested in making a custom Displate or getting one of the many existing designs, then be sure to use the link in the description or code COSMIC at checkout. You'll get 32% off of 1 to 2 Displates or 37% off of 3 or more. Alright, our story starts 7 years ago with me playing this. What is this? Well, there's actually a fascinating number of different versions of Super Mario Bros., and the Minus World can be different in all of them. Most people know the original Minus World, which is an endless version of the level 7-2. A decent number of people out there may know that the Famicom Disk System version has a different Minus World, and you can play a -2 and a -3 as well. I've covered that and explained the Minus World ending speedrun in this video. Now, I'd guess a much smaller number of people know about the Minus World in Versus Super Mario Bros., or are very familiar with this game in general. Versus Super Mario Bros. Is an arcade game. If you stumbled on it at the arcade, you might think it's just your regular Super Mario Bros., but you'd quickly find out that's not exactly the case. This game was released between Mario 1 and Mario 2J, aka the Lost Levels, and it's basically Super Mario Bros. 1.5. All the levels have been changed slightly to make them a bit harder, but there are also completely new levels. Several stages from the Lost Levels were used for this game. Or maybe it's the other way around, several levels made for this game ended up being used for Lost Levels? I'm not sure. But anyway, we can go to the Minus World again in this game. Oh, except they took out the blocks we'd normally use to clip through the wall. No worries, there are other ways to get there. Every time Mario bumps backwards into a wall, or jumps against the right edge of a block, he gets pushed farther towards the right side of the screen. We can do this a bunch and get him really far to the right side of the screen, and then drop down into the warp zone without it loading in all the way. Alright, looks like the Minus World here is another infinitely looping water level, but a different one this time. This is the bonus area you'd usually find by going down a pipe in levels 5-2 or 6-2. Another opportunity to explore the Minus World, and the most obscure one, comes from this game. This bizarre version of the game is called All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. It's another weird mix between 1 and 2J, but it's a completely different mix from Versus Super Mario Bros. And there are obviously some new character designs here as well. All Night Nippon is the name of a Japanese radio show, which started in the 60s and is still running to this day. Over the years, the radio show did a few different collaborations with Nintendo, one of which was All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. The characters in this game are popular celebrities from the show, and other elements like the radio station's logo can be found throughout the game too. It's kind of like today if there was a version of the game where Bowser is replaced with Jack Black. But yeah, this game has a really cool story, and the channel GTV Japan has an excellent video about this. Definitely recommend watching it. Anyway, this game is a significant stop in our journey to finding those new levels. Here's a clip of me from 7 years ago. Someone in chat asked if the minus world glitch works in this game. I actually don't know the answer to that. Oh. All right. What about middle pipe? What? This is incredible. Do I go to 1-3? There's piranha plants because I'm past 1-2. I go to 1-3. What exactly happened here? The first time, it took me outside to the usual ending screen of 1-2. But the second time, I ended up at the start of 1-1, but it said 1-2 at the top still. Here's what's going on. This area outside the pipe at the end of 1-2 is actually the same area from the end of 1-1. The game reuses this screen for the ending of 1-2. These games are made up of sections called areas and pages. The area is the entire level that you're currently in, and each area is divided up into chunks called pages. When you go in the pipe at the end of 1-2, it sends you to Area 37, Page 11. These values get loaded into memory as you approach the exit pipe. Now, in All Night Nippon, the minus world glitch has been removed. Going in a warp pipe without loading the warp zone fully will cause the game to send you to whatever destination is currently loaded into memory, which in this case are those values the game loaded in for the exit pipe. Area 37, Page 11. However, if you go in a warp pipe while moving, so the screen scrolls as you go down, this can allow the warp zone to load after you've already entered the pipe. This causes the black screen transition to come up, and after this transition screen, Mario will always start on page 0. That's why we end up in the 1-1 level layout here. We go to the same area, but way back at the start of it. At the time, I didn't understand what was happening. All I knew was in Mario 2J, something similar happens, where you'll go to different places depending on if the screen scrolls or not. But I didn't understand why. So, let's take a look at 2J now. In this game, there's a Warp to World 4 hidden past this big wall. You're supposed to find some invisible blocks that let you climb up and get over the wall. But in speedruns, we save some time by clipping straight into the wall. Now, to actually get Warp to World 4, you have to jump a bit past the pipe so the warp zone loads fully before you enter it. If you don't scroll the screen enough, you'll end up in this bonus room. This makes sense. There's a pipe before the big wall, which is your way out if you don't find the hidden coin blocks. The unloaded warp zone is just using the same area and page values which are left over in memory from this pipe. But if we make the screen scroll as we enter the warp pipe, we should go to that same area, but on page 0, right? Very interesting. Now we're in a different bonus room. How did we get here? Also, exiting this room puts us near the end of 1-1? Weird. So what happened here is all of the bonus rooms are stored in the same map. So instead of bringing us to this area on page 2, it brought us to this area on page 0. This is the bonus room we find in 1-1, so the pipe leads to the area it normally would when you use it in 1-1. Alright, that's a fun little glitch, but where do the brand new levels come in? All of that stuff I just explained will be very important to understand the rest of the video. So, here we go for real, guys. One day a couple months ago, it hit me. I had never really tried this on all the other warp zones in this game. Like, generally, most glitch warp zones won't lead to anything interesting. You just get sent back to the start of the warp zone. This is what happens with the above ground warp zone in 4-2 of the first game, and it's what happens in the above ground warp zone in 5-2 of this game. But there are a lot of warp zones in this game, and I definitely had not tried scrolling the screen while entering all of them. So I started messing around. In 3-1, I found a similar story to the warp zone in 1-2. The area and page values that are in memory are from this pipe, another bonus room. So when you do the warp zone glitch, you once again go to the bonus area on page 0 and end up in this one instead. But this time if you take the exit pipe, this happens. That's kind of fun. Next up, glitching the warp zone at the end of 5-2 would normally send you to this map outside where the flagpole is. But scrolling the screen to go to page 0 instead, you end up right here. Just one empty screen to the left. Oh baby, we got to see one whole new screen. Don't worry guys, there's a lot more to come. For example, glitching the warp zone in 8.1 is really interesting. This is one of those warp zones where going in it when it's unloaded will just send you back to the start of the room. But guys, this room is actually reusing level data from a different level. When you're in the warp zone in 8.1, you're actually at the end of the entire 5.1 area. So if we scroll the screen as we enter the pipe and reappear on page 0, you end up at the start of the 5.1 level layout. This is similar to the one in All Night Nippon. Beating the stage will send you to 8.2 and things will return to normal. But we can have some fun while we're here. None of the entrances are set up properly, so if we take this vine for example, it leads to this. Yep, Mario's stuck forever now, trying to finish the vine climbing sequence. Alright, on to some other warp zones. These last couple are in the letter worlds, a set of bonus worlds you can unlock after beating the main quest. There's a warp zone in A2, which gives us the same result as 5.2. And finally, let's try the last warp zone in the game, B4. This one is really unique. It's inside of a castle stage. We go in this pipe and end up outside in this warp zone. Going down the pipe without scrolling the screen just resets the room. How about with scrolling the screen? Whoa, what? This is the layout of level A3. I was so surprised to see this. Why does it send you here? Oh, I understand. In A3, there's a warp zone that's past the flagpole. The B4 warp zone is the same warp zone. It's using the A3 level data here. I never realized that until now. So in B4, if we're sent to the same area but on page 0, we end up here at the beginning of the A3 level layout. Nice. Another really cool one. I'm glad that the last warp zone we had to try gave us another really interesting result. Wait. The flagpole? We can finish the level with a flagpole? Guys, this is huge. Let me explain why. Normally, you would finish B-4 by grabbing the axe at the end, and that would take you to C1. Grabbing an axe always takes you to the next world. But that's not what happens when you grab a flagpole. Flagpoles always take you to the next level. Instead of making the world counter go up, they make the level counter go up. If we grab this flagpole, this should take us to B5. Knowing the possibility of a minus world type glitch happening here, I booted up my stream to test it live and see what would happen. I knew this had big potential. However, I also knew that the result could be disappointing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I waited to stream this to get my live reaction. There's a chance it just loads C-1 and it's super boring, like C-1 level layout. Is it a glitched world? It's what I feared. It's just the level layout of C-1. And we're gonna play up until B-8, then everything will go back to normal. I'll go to C-1 after beating it. As you saw, the result was disappointing. To understand what's going on, you can imagine a list of all the levels in the game in order. When you beat B4 and go to B5, the game basically just goes to the next entry in the list, finds C1, and that's what it loads in. And the same thing for B6, B7, and so on. Once we reach B8, we get the C4 level layout. This level ends by grabbing an axe, which always takes you to the next world, and yeah, our fun ends here, and we're taken to C1. Also, I later found out I wasn't even the first person to play these levels. Last year, Antimony posted a screenshot of him in level B7, but I never saw that post from him. And in the end, that's a good thing. Ultimately, this wasn't all for naught, because Simplistic was watching my stream. Simplistic is one of these legendary Mario scientists we have in the community that is constantly answering questions, working on new tools for us. You'll often see his name in the special thanks section of my videos. After watching the disappointing end to my glitched levels journey, Simplistic swooped in and saved the day. Less than 24 hours later, he sends me this screenshot. B9? How? This is a screenshot of the Super Mario All-Stars collection on the Super Nintendo. Using this version of the game, we can go beyond B8. And for the rest of the video, I'll explain and show you how. Here is the slightest glimpse into what's to come. Things are gonna get crazy. Hey, at this point, I just want to ask you to take a moment and check if you're subscribed. There's a chance I may have to stop making videos soon due to financial reasons, so if you enjoy what I do, subscribing is a very simple and free way to support the channel. Thanks. Alright, so on the All-Stars version, it's possible to reach B-9 and beyond, and explore brand new glitched levels. Knowing this, I set out to explore them all myself, live on stream, on my childhood cartridge, with no hacks or cheats. But there was one problem. Have you wondered yet, if there are brand new glitch levels to play, why haven't they been discovered before now? Well, I think there's a few reasons. Fewer people played Lost levels compared to the first game. This trick is deep into the game, like in bonus worlds, not even in the main worlds. To see the full extent of the glitch, it only works on the All-Stars version, and it gets a bit technical, as we'll see in a minute. But the main reason I'd say is that it's actually really hard. The way you do this glitch is by going in a warp pipe while not having scrolled the screen enough to load it fully, right? Most of the time that's pretty easy. You can clip into a wall to get to the right side of the screen, or you can spend the whole level bumping into objects to get pushed forward. But in some cases, like B4, you enter the warp zone from a pipe right before the staircase. There's no way to clip into the stairs here, and there's barely any room to do the bumps. It is possible, but it's very hard to do, and especially hard to do consistently. I personally tried it for a bit and didn't get super close, so I asked around to see if anyone else wanted to try, and Solirock stepped up to the plate. About an hour later, he came back with this.
Wow! That is so far. Come on, get over there. Yes! Oh, yes! Let's go.
It's awesome he did it. Genuinely impressive and a great demonstration that this glitch is feasible to pull off. However, I'm hoping to do this glitch just on command on stream and not spend hours trying to get it every time. So we'll need to get a little creative. Simplistic did it first by playing on the PAL version of this game. I've talked about the PAL version of Super Mario Bros. Before, but basically it's a version of the game that most of the world got outside of Japan and North America. Mario has different physics in this version, including faster acceleration, and it's a lot easier to get bumped far enough forward to do the glitch. I don't have a PAL console, and, well, I want to play on my own copy of the game anyway. So, to pull this off, I'm using a TAS replay device. This device acts like a controller and can feed inputs into the game, and do whatever you program it to, basically. Doing this doesn't modify the game in any way, it just gets Mario up the stairs properly, and then I keep playing from there. So yeah, with all of that out of the way, here's how we get past B8 on the All-Stars version. We of course start by doing the glitch in the B4 warp zone. Here we go, watch this transition screen. Blue lava? It's real? Grabbing the flagpole takes us to B5, which is like C1. B6 is like C2, B7 is like C3, and wait, huh? Normally these springs are green and send you flying. The color of springs is actually based on what world you're in. So like all the springs in world 3 are green, all the springs in world 4 are red, and so on. But on the All-Stars version, they actually changed the springs in world B from green to red. Since we're still in world B with this glitch, we actually can't even beat B7. We actually got less far on this version. How does All-Stars help us get to B9? The main difference for us here that All-Stars introduces is the ability to save and quit. It'll always save the farthest level you've gotten to, plus levels 1 through 4 in all the previous worlds. So for example, if you play to C1 and save and quit, you have B1 through B4 unlocked. But if you've never been to World C and make it to B7 and save and quit, we get B7 on the menu. That's kind of fun, but again, it's not obvious how it's going to help us. We should boot this up and it'll just be the level with the red springs again. Whoa, it's definitely not. This is the B2 level layout. Okay, things from here are going to be hard to explain simply, but I will do my best. The long and the short of it is that the level order works differently when coming from the menu than when playing through the game normally. Obviously, the menu select works properly for all the normal levels, but the system breaks when you start selecting levels you weren't supposed to. I mentioned earlier how there's a list of all the levels in the game in order, and when you get to B5, it just adds 1, goes to the next level in the list, and points to the same place in memory as C1. But the save menu works differently. It grabs the world value, says, okay, we're gonna go to world B. But then, to know which area to load in that world, it has a whole separate table that it uses. So in this case, when we go past B4 to the next entry in the list, what's there is the area value from C1. So rather than literally loading C1, it loads world B and the corresponding area value, which is area 0. So you get world B area 0, aka B1. Hope that makes sense. B6 goes to world B area 1, which is this cutscene that plays before entering the water level. And then B7 goes to world B area 2, which is the water level itself, no cutscene. So, here we are, we're in B7, and this time, there's no Red Springs of Doom standing in our way. We can play through the level, reach the flagpole, and move on to B8. Naturally, this gives us the B3 level layout now, which is another level we can beat, and now we've made it to B9. Alright, but wait, B9 is the same as B4. Beating this level with the axe would just take us to World C. Alright, well, let's at least save our progress for now, and I want to check out the Warp Zone. Normally in B4, the Warp Zone sends us to World D, but what about the Warp Zone in B9? Huh, well, that's definitely new. Looks like it's the top left part of a coin, but with the wrong color palette. Let's see where it goes. Back to 1-1. Man, I thought the World 3 Warp Zone was punishing. So actually, this pipe should send us to world 164. But they actually put a failsafe in this version, which takes you to 1-1 instead if you're ever going to warp somewhere unusual. Man, they really did not want us to have a minus world type glitch in this game. Well, too bad. We're gonna make one happen anyway. Let's keep going, guys. Remember, the menu level select is out of sync with the levels in-game. We started on B2, and naturally, playing the game took us to the level data for B3 and B4. But now, if we select B9 from the menu, it grabs the area data from where D1 would normally fall in the list. So we get World B, Area 0, which is B1 again. I know we keep playing a lot of the same levels here, but just wait a little longer. Let's consider what will happen if we can get past D4 in this list. Soon, we'll find out. For now, we beat B9 and arrive in BA. Now we're not only in the letter worlds, but the letter levels. Continuing to beat levels lets us reach BB and BC. This is the B4 level layout again, so let's check out the warp zone. Okay, B-C. What do we got? Oh! Should we go to that waving flag tile warp zone? What do you think, guys? Based on the animation, I initially thought this was part of a flag, or maybe part of a bush, but this is actually an unused graphic in the game. The color palette is wrong, so it's hard to tell, but this is a piece of coral. It's interesting that it's animated. Our best guess is that maybe it was going to be used for a level transition screen. It's really cool that we got to see an unused tile with this glitch. Now, we've made a file up to BC. If we select BC from the menu, we find ourselves in B3. That's one more level we can beat, and finally, with BD unlocked, we've made it past all the built-in values. From here, the game is going to grab whatever random data comes next in memory to determine what area to load us into. This is the official start of hitting glitched values and getting glitched levels. Now, I do have to issue a flashing lights warning from this point onward. Okay, let's see what happens when we pick BD from the menu. Oh, very nice. That's a cool glitchy screen transition. And the level it puts us in is... oh, this is the C2 level layout. We've already seen this a bunch. Well, at least this level ends in a flagpole, so we should be able to keep going and unlock BE. We've found the lost levels, guys. Here we go. Whoa! The game said no. Huh. Well, I guess we weren't able to save before it crashed, so we didn't even unlock BE. Is this the end of the line? No, because remember, when we unlocked BD, we were in the B4 level layout. We can go to the warp zone there and do the warp zone glitch again. That gives us access to a flagpole, so we can go to the next level. And the game's going to take us to the C1, C2, and C3 level layouts again, which means we get to unlock BE, BF, and BG. Look at this, now we're getting somewhere. Even the tiles on the menu are messed up. Normally, this menu only needs to display 1 through 9 and A through D, so after that, we get glitch tiles. Alright, let's see what BE is. Or rather, B triangle question mark. Whoa, Bowser. Oh, okay. This is just gonna reset. Good one, Mario. This level is jail is what it is. Okay, well, that was fun. Yeah, the laser beam looked crazy. Okay, what's next? B-F. BF turned out to just be B1 again, which isn't interesting on its own, but it's actually very exciting. Okay, so I think I can use this to unlock more levels. Like, currently we're on a B-1 through B-4 playthrough, right? And every time I beat a level, I'm gonna unlock a new level. And when I get to B-4, I think I should go ahead and try and do the glitch to like unlock an extra one or 2 or 3. Nice. Welcome to 0. Wait. Okay. Yeah. So we got C-1. We get to play to C3, save, and then we'll have everything from... Okay. So BL. This is the end of the line again. Red Spring. Save and quit. We have unlocked a bunch of new levels to go check out. Now on the menu, we have a bunch of levels that we haven't tried from the menu yet. Whoa. JJ. Oh, never mind, it's 5544332211. First up, BG was just the C1 level layout, but BH is the moment we've all been waiting for. Whoa, that was different. It's not, that is not how it works at all. Okay, here we go, guys. Truly the glitched levels. Here we go. This is awesome. There's a Koopa in the floor, dude. Look at that. Oh, this is 9-1, right? Is that what I'm seeing? This is 9-1. Wait. Oh, this jump is gonna be hard. You can barely see because of like the foreground. Yeah, so this is like glitched, not underwater 9-1 level layout. I'm hoping I can make this jump. Maybe I can wall jump over the top or something. Okay, I got up top. I've never had to play this level not underwater, so this will be interesting. I can't see, dude. I killed it. Something. Okay, there's bloopers. Okay, don't die to the Koopas. Oh, he landed on me. I couldn't tell where he was gonna go. Really just need to dodge these Koopas. Okay, we made it. I wonder if this will soft lock or anything. What? I'm a giant. What am I? What is this? This is the most insane thing I would have never imagined. These are bloopers? And bullet bills? What am I playing, dude? The bitrate annihilator. Yeah, what can you guys even see? The bonsai bill is coming for me, dude. Can you guys even see what's happening? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Some levels are going to be very hard to beat like this. I'm going to write them down and come back and play them later. Anything I can't do, it's just too hard, I'll come back to later. E, F, G, H, I. Huh? This is new. Another bitrate destroyer. This is different, dude. What is this right here? It's so weird. Oh, this is 7-1. I figured it out. It's 7-1. Because right here there's stairs at the start, and there's like these 2 red Koopas, and at the start those are 2 piranha plants going up and down. So I'll kick this red Koopa shell, and then I probably keep jumping super early. I'm gonna have to do this one also later so let's try J. Oh, we got the level background again. Is it 9-1 again? At this point, we started to see a pattern in the glitched levels. I picked B-J next, which was the glitchy 9-1 again. And when I beat it, I found myself in the same pixel soup level. I guess every time we see 9-1 and beat it, we'll end up here. Then BK was the same crazy glitched 7-1 from earlier, and BL was the glitchy 9-1 again. When I beat it, it'll lead to that same glitchy level again, but I can at least save to unlock BM. Whatever that level is, we're going to have to try and beat it if we want to go any farther. Okay, it's the 7-1 stage again. I'm gonna have to wade through this mess if we want to see what BN is. Okay, we need a good alignment here. Okay, now we want to get the power up, and then don't fall in the hole. Okay. Yes. Now don't fall in the other hole. During all of this, I was getting a lot of comments asking, how can you tell what's going on? Like, at all. Well, the only thing I could really see are the sprites, the things that move. But I will say, it was a lot easier to see the sprites on my TV than on the game capture. So to help my viewers follow along, I put screenshots of the levels up and explained what I was doing. So I'm running forward. I'm at the pipes right now. If you look closely, you'll see moving up and down. The piranha plants, they're moving up and down. I'm moving forward. I'm at the staircase now. Okay? And if you see moving back and forth, there's the red Koopa. So I'm gonna jump on him and kick the shell. Now I have to jump off of this ledge. Okay, I made it. I'm at the pipe. I'm at the first pipe right now. You see there's like moving stuff all over the screen. You'll see kind of in the middle, there's the piranha going up and down, and the bottom right, there's the Koopa going back and forth. Now I'm gonna jump into that mushroom. And now I'm over to the right. Oh, the mushroom went down the hole. You see that hole over to the right side? The mushroom just went down that hole, but I'm gonna keep going to right here. I'm at the block. I'm gonna jump onto the block and up. I'm up. I got shot by the bullet bill launcher. Okay. I need to get down. Oh. I got the star. I'm up and over. Now, I'm running here. I'm gonna try and kill the Hammer Bros, but you see this plant at the very edge of a pit. That tells me where the edge of the pit is, and I need to like kill everything and then jump the pit using that as a reference. I gotta kill the bros. Oh, there's the piranha, right there. I cleared the gap. Now I'm here. I'm at this pipe where this piranha is. The Hammer Bro is on highest difficulty. It's gonna charge at me immediately. And I'm gonna try and like climb on the pipe and jump over it or something. Okay. There's Buzzy Beetles I need to not die to. And bullet bills. I got hit by a bullet bill? No way, dude. You all saw that, right? Okay, I'm at the block. I need to get up on the launcher. I'm on the launcher. Oh! I beat it! I beat it, guys. I beat it! Okay. The game crashed. Well, I beat it, but we weren't able to unlock anything else. There is just one more potential way forward from here. I can play the alternate B-M by coming from BL. And if I beat this stage, maybe, hopefully it doesn't crash and we unlock more. At this point, I had to end my stream soon to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know what happens if you beat this level. So I used a bunch of save states and just plowed through it. We're really close to the end. Staircase and, oh, there's the Koopa. I went in the pipe. Wait, it just resets. Wait, I am outside? I did not expect that to work at all. Dude, we're doing it. Now I know what's going on. Now I know what's going on. Wait, if it doesn't crash, we unlock another level. Oh, dude, it like froze. It baited me so hard. I thought it was gonna work. I had hope for a second, but this one crashed too. So is this it? Is BM as far as we can get? Before the stream, I asked Simplistic to send me a message saying how far he was able to get, and I'd look at it later to see if I got the same result. Simplistic says he got to B-M. That's how far I got. So guys, we found all of the levels. But wait, we actually did not, because it turns out The Japanese version has different glitched levels than the English version I was just playing on. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow exploring whatever is on this cartridge. There's more to see. Simplistic has explored all of the English ones. I don't think anyone's explored all of these yet, so more to come, guys. Okay, here we go. Super. Okay, it's just C-2. Is this what happened yesterday? I can't remember what the first one from yesterday was. Okay. We already... Wait, it didn't crash. We're in a cutscene. Now it crashed. Wait, what? Here we go. We've already done D. Here goes B-E. Okay, another laser beam. Ooh, okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is 6-2, but it's not underwater. It has a really cool visual effect. But this is such a different level when it's not underwater. All of the platforms are coming out to be like perfectly spaced apart. Okay, this part is gonna be tough. What? I think I have to super jump up over the top. It's also very convenient that the cheap frenzy enemies have been replaced with bullet bills, because... Oh, we made it, let's go! Everyone knew what I was gonna say, right? I don't need to finish. I think I should go back. No, it's fine. I got scared I was gonna get stuck. Pipe works? Pipe does not work. Okay, well that was fun, and it's okay because we already have B-F unlocked. It's okay. Unfortunately, the rest of the levels were actually the same as on the English version. They did have different visuals, like this version of the glitchy 7-1 level looks just insane with the wind effect and everything. The crash screens were also different on this version. Whoa, epilepsy warning! But yeah, the rest of the levels played out the same way, up to BM, which was the end of the line. So for my last hoorah in these glitch levels, I wanted to beat the other ultra glitch level, but without save states this time. This stage is actually level B2, except it's not underwater, so we can't swim, which makes it very hard to navigate. Okay, let me walk you through what's happening in this level. I start, and then there's this staircase. I'm jumping up the staircase, okay? Now I'm running through the hallway. Now I'm stuck at this big tall coral. I jumped over it. Here's what's next. I run for a little bit. I don't die to this Koopa. And now, I'm at this giant wall that I can't get over. See, this is the hardest part, is this giant wall that I have to get on top of. Either with a super jump off of an enemy, or with a wall jump or something. Okay, I got up. I'm gonna jump up over the top and run along the top. I fell down. Now this is the next huge hard part. I need to get to the other side of this pit, and then there's this falling platform you'll see moving down repeatedly. I need to be able to like squeeze between the wall and that up onto the platform and then up into the hallway. Can you screen wrap on the platform? Chris Blue, you are a genius! What? I need to do the TJP, dude. Everybody knows the TJP, right?
Oh, what in the world? Oh! What is going on?
Falling platform. Gotta jump onto this thing. I'm up top. I'm just gonna go till I see the... Wow, that thing's hard to see on this one. This fire bar. Okay, we're gonna do the big jump now. Go! There's a blooper, or a Koopa. Oh, it's the Koopa. I dodged it. I got in the pipe. Finally, dude, finally. Look at this screen. What a beauty. Get me to this flagpole. What, a whole castle top just came down. What happens? Probably nothing. Crazy crash. Whoa, why do I hear boss music? What? All right, well, we did it. It's sad that there weren't more different levels on this version, But at least I made a cool BM save file to keep as a souvenir. No, did it delete? It deleted my files! Dude, are you serious? Well, there you have it, guys. That's all the details of how to play these new levels that have secretly been accessible all this time. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to watch more of my playthrough of this whole process, there's a link in the description to a video of that on my second channel. Thanks for watching!